Welcome to another episode of A Walk with Dan, and today I want to talk about the Google Pixel. Before we get into the Google Pixel, I have to tell you a little bit of the history of the smartphones that I've owned. The first smartphone that I ever owned was the iPhone 3G, and I thought it was great. Then eventually I kept buying all the iPhones until the iPhone 4, and then I switched over to the Android phones because I love to tinker with the technology that I have, and Android allowed me to do that. Eventually I actually ended up switching over to Google's Nexus line of phones, and I have loved those phones so much because A, they were affordable, and B, you would get the updates right from Google. Like the day that they said Android Nougat was out, I was able to install it on my Nexus phone right away. I didn't have to wait for the OEMs to port it to any other versions of the phone. It was just out, and I loved that aspect. The problem that we have now is that Google has killed off the Nexus line, and Google is now trying to compete in the premium phone market, which is what you would consider the iPhones to be competing in. Because if you look at the features that the Google Pixel has, and you look at the features that the iPhone has, they are very similar. Like, there is no denying that Google is trying very hard to compete with Apple, because this is the first time that Google has actually been able to be like, we did everything with this phone, except for the fact that HTC actually designed the inside of it. Well, they manufactured it. Google designed everything, but HTC pretty much built the phone. Now the major problem with the Google Pixel is that it is expensive. It is more expensive than the Nexus phones have ever been. Because of Google releasing the Pixel at such a high price point, I feel that a lot of developers are going to unfortunately have to move away from the official Google phones and have to wait a little bit longer to get updates because the Pixel is just too bloody expensive. There is no reason that Google needed to kill off the Nexus line. Google could have created the Pixel phones and still kept the Nexus line, and so many more people would have been happy. So now, because of the crazy price point for the Pixel, it looks like a lot of people, myself included, are probably going to look at the phone manufacturer called OnePlus for their next phone, because they actually are one of the few manufacturers that are out there that still make affordable phones. Like, to get the Google Pixel XL in Canada, it costs $1,049. Now, if you wanted to get that on a new cell phone plan, that you would have to sign up for a 2-year commitment, that phone would now be $549, but you're stuck with that phone plan for 2 years. To put things into perspective, the OnePlus version 3, which was released June, I believe, this year, literally costs $549 in Canada, and the specs are better than the Pixel. It has 6 gigabytes of RAM. I have never seen that many gigabytes in a phone, and I just think it is amazing. I am so disappointed with the Google Pixel. There are also rumors that if you buy a Pixel phone from a carrier, that you won't be able to unlock the bootloader and be able to customize the phone as much as you used to be able to do with the Nexus phones. Now that is a really bad thing. Also, the other problem is that Google is including its assistant only on the Pixel phones for right now. But now what I think is going to happen is that when Samsung released its phone feature called S-Voice, where it was basically the Google Assistant before Google Assistant kind of existed, a bunch of people ended up ripping it out of Samsung's software and made it so that you could install it on any kind of phone. Now I think that's what's going to happen with Google Assistant, because if it's a really great feature like what it looks to be, people are all going to want it, so people are going to rip it out of the operating system and make it available to anyone. But yeah, with the release of the Google Pixel, it really feels like Google has left its core user base behind by no longer making an affordable phone. Now people are going to have to turn to other manufacturers like OnePlus to buy a more affordable phone. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Google Pixel in the comments below. And that pretty much sums up this video. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week. Don't forget to have an epically awesome day. Bye!